So, today we'll first talk about glaucoma, then we'll go to heavy metal intoxication. One second. Glaucoma. Okay. Now, glaucoma is an eye disease in which, because of certain conditions, what will happen is the intraocular pressure will significantly increase. Now, once this pressure increases, it will start putting a lot of pressure inside your eye, and because of this increased pressure, there will be damage to your eye, specifically damage to your optic nerve. Okay, ultimately, if you're not able to what do you call it, is a chronic progressive disorder. Okay, it'll keep on going slowly and it'll increase, but if you're not able to treat it in time, it can lead to blindness. All right, if untreated, it will lead to irreversible damage, especially where optic nerve degenerates, leading to permanent blindness. Now, even though the cause is not known, there are a few risk factors associated with glaucoma. Okay, one risk factor is hypertension, then family history of glaucoma. Yeah, if the patient has myopia, in that condition, they have a slightly higher chance of developing glaucoma. Now, as such, what happens in glaucoma is, see, there are two different types of glaucoma. We have close angle glaucoma and open angle glaucoma. I'll tell you the difference between both of them and how it is occurring. One second. So look here. Now we are looking at the lens part and the upper segment, the anterior segment of the eye from a superior view. ठीक है, ऊपर से देख रहे हैं आप आई को, how it will look. So if you can see, follow along, यहाँ पर cornea है, यहाँ पर iris है, and there is lens behind that, right? Now near the edge of the iris you will have something called a trabecular meshwork. ठीक है, यहाँ पर they are indicating as open angle and close angle, but that trabecular network will open into a canal, okay, called canal of Schlemm. The purpose of this is, see, look at this location. This is where यहाँ पर जो है आपका aqueous humor बनता. Okay, this increase in pressure in glaucoma is occurring because aqueous humor is getting accumulated. ठीक है, now यहाँ पर जैसा aqueous humor बन रहा, normally what happens is, now think of a condition where the patient does not have any glaucoma and they are basically healthy. ठीक है, so in that condition what will happen is, once again, hmm, yeah, in that condition, what will happen is it will come from down and it will come towards the front part. Okay, it will come from the posterior end to the anterior end. So, aqueous humor is being formed inside the iris near the edge of the lens, and it is being spread around in the anterior segment. ठीक है, सामने के चेंबर में एंटी एक्वस ह्यूमर रहता, पीछे के सेगमेंट में विट्रियस ह्यूमर रहता. ओके, बेसिक आई एनाटॉमी. यहाँ पर aqueous humor is flowing around in this space and it gets excreted out through the trabecular meshwork into the canal of Schlemm. ठीक है, एपिस्क्लेरल वेन्स में चले जाता वो, स्क्लीरा के अराउंड जो वेन्स रहते, ठीक है, वहां पर ड्रेन होता. इन एनी केस, यहाँ पर trabecular meshwork, think of trabecular meshwork as a kind of a sponge. Okay, that sponge is able to absorb whatever aqueous humor is being excreted out, so that there is a balance maintained. जैसा प्रोड्यूस हो रहा वैसा एक्सक्रीट होते जा रहा, एंड देयर इज अ बैलेंस टू द अमाउंट ऑफ aqueous humor that should be present in the anterior segment altogether. ठीक है, anterior chamber जो भी बोलो आप. Now there are two different types of glaucoma. When it comes to the problem that is occurring, there is open angle and there is close angle. Okay, now first look at the left one, open angle. ओपन एंगल में क्या होता, your iris and cornea के बीच में you have trabecular meshwork. यहाँ पर the angle between them is pretty wide. There is no change in the angle between them. Okay, it's also called open angle. इसको क्या बोलते हैं, wide angle या chronic simple wide angle, chronic simple glaucoma भी बोलते हैं. All of it refers to a condition where the trabecular meshwork. Okay, think of it like, as I told you, like a sponge or like a network wherein aqueous humor is getting drained. Now that network is getting blocked. Okay, because of proteins, because of certain substances, that particular trabecular meshwork gets blocked, physically blocked, because of which what happens is aqueous humor is not able to pass through it. what happens ultimately? Aqueous humor starts getting accumulated. If it does not have any place to drain out, it will obviously start getting accumulated. यहाँ पर there is no problem in the closure of iris. That is why it is called open angle. Okay, the angle between iris and cornea is pretty wide, almost normal as it gets. Okay, the problem will be in trabecular meshwork. Right, this is a more chronic type of glaucoma. It occurs over a long period of time. Onset is also very slow and it needs long term treatment. ठीक है, generally surgery prefer करते. Now coming to the other end, excuse me, coming to the other end, look on the right, closed angle glaucoma में यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा, the iris is physically blocking the trabecular meshwork. So as you can see here, the angle is closed in the sense that the angle between cornea and iris has become much more smaller. This is because the lens is starting to push towards the iris, and that iris in turn is pushing onto the cornea, okay, or towards the cornea. In the process, what it does is it will block the trabecular meshwork. As a result, what happens is that aqueous humor, the drainage or the passageway for aqueous humor gets blocked. All right. In the previous condition, there was no blockage to aqueous humor through iris. It was a black blockage in the trabecular meshwork itself. यहाँ पर blockage is occurring because of iris. ठीक है, that is why it is called closed angle glaucoma, or it is called acute congestive glaucoma, या फिर narrow angle glaucoma भी बोलते हैं इसको. ठीक है, यहाँ पर literally the angle between iris and cornea is becoming smaller. This is because lens is pushing onto the iris. All right. Ultimately, the same thing will happen. Aqueous humor will start getting accumulated and pressure will build up. Okay, which can be detrimental. This is a more acute condition. Okay, which needs to be kind of a medical emergency where you need to treat it immediately. All right. Now, coming to treatment of glaucoma, see, most of the drugs that we've discussed already in other topics fall under this category. So I'll not go into a lot of details in them, but some of them. So, for example, you have two different types of drugs that come under this category. First type will be drugs that will increase drainage of aqueous humor. Excuse me. So, first class drugs that increase drainage of aqueous humor. ठीक है. Now, इसमें आते हैं आपके cholinergic drugs. Excuse me. Cholinergic drugs mainly carbachol, pilocarpine, physostigmine, ये पूरे आते हैं इसमें. Excuse me. Cholinergic drugs have carbachol, pilocarpine. You can use physostigmine. ठीक है, ये यूज कर सकते हैं आप, या फिर यू कैन गिव समथिंग विच विल बी सिमिलर टू प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन्स. एक्सक्यूज मी, प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन एनालॉग्स बोलते हैं उसको. यू कैन गिव लाटानोप्रोस्ट, यू कैन गिव बीमाटोप्रोस्ट, ट्रावोप्रोस्ट, ये पूरे दे सकते हैं आप. प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन एनालॉग्स क्या करते हैं, स्पेशली लानाटोप्रोस्ट, दिस इज अ प्रोड्रग फॉर PGF2. Excuse me. This fellow, what it will do is once you give a prostaglandin analog, it will increase the outflow of aqueous humor by relaxing ciliary muscles. Excuse me. Once ciliary muscles are relaxed, it can be given as an adjuvant with other drugs as well. So prostaglandins are literally causing the angle to increase in a way wherein ciliary muscles, once they relax, it is making it easier for uh, aqueous humor to get drained out. ठीक है, so preferably आप narrow angle glaucoma में देंगे ही. ठीक है, when you know that iris is blocking it, आप क्या करते हैं, ciliary muscles को relax करने के लिए कुछ देते हैं. Once ciliary muscles have relaxed, it will be easier for that iris to move out of the way and the aqueous humor to drain out. Okay. Excuse me. Then you have drugs that, so PG analogs. PG analogs में आता आपका लाटानोप्रोस्ट, and travoprost. Travoprost. Then the second type of drugs that you will give, this will decrease the formation of aqueous humor altogether. Aqueous, aqueous humor. Okay. इसमें आते हैं आपके बीटा ब्लॉकर्स. ठीक है. बीटा ब्लॉकर स्पेसिफिकली यू कैन गिव टिमोलॉल. Excuse me. You can give timolol or you can give bitazolol. ठीक है. Other than that, you can give adrenergic agonists. बीटा ब्लॉकर्स आर adrenergic antagonists. ठीक है. बीटा adrenergic receptor जो है उसको ब्लॉक करते हैं. Adrenergic agonists will be drugs that will increase the response of adrenergic receptors. They will mimic the response of adrenaline basically. So you can give alpha agonists या beta agonists. ठीक है. यहाँ पर मेनली आता है आपका अप्राक्लोनिडीन. Mainly alpha agonist there. Okay. You can give brimonidine, right, or adrenaline as well. So you're literally trying to mimic the function of adrenaline. Then you can give carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, the same that we gave in diuretics. इसमें आता है आपका acetazolamide, and you can also give dorzolamide. Excuse me. Now, these three specific drugs are helpful in this case. Now, coming to beta blockers, how do they help? These are kind of the first line treatment. In case of glaucoma, they will help in reduction of formation of aqueous humor by blocking beta receptors in your ciliary body. Excuse me. आपके ciliary body is responsible for the formation of aqueous humor. अगर आप ciliary body को ही block कर दिए, the receptors of ciliary body, it will not lead to the formation of aqueous humor. Okay, that is one direct way through which you can decrease or treat glaucoma. ठीक है. You can give them as eye drops या फिर आप tablet भी दे सकते हैं. Excuse me. Right. Now, adrenergic agonists, coming to them, what they will do is they will also act on ciliary body. What they do is they will the mechanism is excuse me, the mechanism is not known, but what we do know is that it will reduce aqueous humor formation. Uh, now the thing is that ciliary body पे कैसा काम कर रहा, we do not know. Adrenergic agents, what we do know is that it does act on ciliary body. The exact receptor is not known where it is working. It does have some systemic activity as well. So when you're giving alpha adrenergic agonists, be a little careful. Okay. Especially about the drug interactions. Acetazolamide तो आपको पता ही है. Carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, they will right. Now, whenever you have production of aqueous humor, it will require transport of bicarbonate ions. ठीक है. If you are giving a carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, see bicarbonate ion की जरूरत है, but carbonic anhydrase ion enzyme की जरूरत पड़ती. Okay, if you are able to give a carbonic anhydrase inhibitor like acetazolamide, that will in turn inhibit that enzyme from working itself. In turn, because of which aqueous humor is not being formed. Okay, whenever we have aqueous humor being formed and it is being transported, bicarbonate ions play a role. For the formation and for the transport of bicarbonate ions, you need carbonic anhydrase. Okay? Carbonic anhydrase is the enzyme responsible for breaking down carbonic acid into uh, this thing, क्या बोलते हैं, bicarbonate ions and water. Now, for the formation of that bicarbonate ions, you need carbonic anhydrase. अगर आप carbonic anhydrase inhibitor दे दिए, It will stop the formation of bicarbonate ions. Ultimately, it is indirectly stopping aqueous humor from being formed, and it is stopping aqueous humor from being moved around. Okay? But the thing is that these drugs are like poorly tolerated. There'll be a lot of side effects to acetazolamide, methazolamide, and dorzolamide. Dorzolamide फिर भी eye drops दे सकते हैं आप. It is still better. You can you can combine it with cholinergic drugs like pilocarpine, or you can combine them with beta blockers. Okay. Excuse me. Something irritating my throat a lot. Right. Now, coming to the last topic, this is, concludes our glaucoma. There is something called heavy metal intoxication. Specifically, you have chelation. Okay. Now, they didn't exactly mention in your syllabus which type of chelation or which heavy metal to uh, chelate with. अब chelation क्या है? Chelation is a process in which what is happening is chelation are special substances. Okay, so they are organic substances. What they do is, let's suppose someone is having heavy metal intoxication. Okay, heavy metal poisoning, for example. One of the most common heavy metal poison is arsenic. Arsenic है या lead है. ठीक है, these two are the more common ones. Chelation therapy में क्या करते हैं आप? You will give certain organic compounds that will complex with this particular substance. अब let's suppose a patient is having arsenic poisoning. ठीक है, इसकी poisoning हो रही. Now what you do is you will give something called a chelate. ठीक है, chelate क्या करता? This is a big organic substance that will go and attach to this arsenic. ठीक है, whatever arsenic is present inside the body, it will form a complex with that arsenic. The result is that once you give a chelate, this arsenic and arsenic bound chelate, ठीक है, ये जो binding होती ना, it will bind to several arsenic molecules like this. ठीक है, it will form a complex. This complex is water soluble and this the result of forming this water soluble complex is that arsenic will lose its effect. Okay, arsenic cannot cause poisoning. Now we are talking with respect to arsenic here. It can be lead, it can be in any other heavy metal as well, for which you are performing chelation. Chelation का मतलब ये है कि you are giving some organic material that is going inside your body. It is forming a complex with the poison that is present inside the body. यहाँ पर the poison is heavy metal. Okay, so whatever heavy metal की poisoning हुई patient को, that heavy metal की poisoning से it is helping it. What it is doing is that chelate is combining with that particular heavy metal. It is rendering it useless. That heavy metal cannot get absorbed into your body anymore once it has attached to the chelate. And the whole thing, this whole complex जो बन रहा ना, this is very very water soluble. The result will be that once it the complex is formed, it gets excreted out in urine. That is basically the principle behind chelation. आप अलग अलग chelates use कर सकते हैं. Like there are several chelating agents available. You have one of the most common is BAL. ठीक है, British anti lewisite बोलते हैं इसको, anti lewisite. ठीक है, it is also called dimercaprol, if you have heard about it in that name. Dimercaprol, quite famous. ठीक है, you can use penicillamine. You can only use penicillamine in patients who have who do not have allergy to penicillins. Okay, then there is DMSA. ठीक है, DMSA is dimercaptosuccinic acid. Dimercaptosuccinic acid. ठीक है, we can also use DMPS. This is dimercaptopropane sulfonic acid. ठीक है, ये पूरे substances can act as chelating agents. ठीक है, in different conditions you will use different. Sometimes you will use combination of substances. depending on the patient's condition or है chelating agents. These are the common ones. Okay, there are several chelating agents. Depending on different conditions आप अलग अलग type पे chelating agents use करते. You can use EDTA, you can use this as well. There are several ones. Okay, in any case, what you do is, once you give, let's suppose you have a patient who is having EDTA is also one. Okay, now, once you have a patient who has, let's suppose, lead poisoning, या arsenic poisoning, या कोई और heavy metal poisoning, you will give this chelating agent either IV या फिर आप orally भी दे सकते हैं, depending on the patient's condition. If they are in a position where they can swallow it, जब आप दे सकते, अगर नहीं तो आप IV देते. In any case, what will happen is, once you give this chelating agent, it will get inside the patient's body and it will complex with that particular heavy metal. So that is, I was just writing HM here. This represents any other heavy metal. ठीक है, mercury रहने दो, lead रहने दो, arsenic रहने दो, जो भी रहने दो. Okay, once it is complexing with that heavy metal, that whole complex, the substance that is formed, it will be insoluble inside the body and it will be soluble, very soluble in urine. The result will be that whatever poison is present in the body, it will be literally sponged up by the chelating agent, and आप लिटरली एक पॉइजन का स्पंज डाल रहे बॉडी में. दैट स्पंज विल absorb all the poison in your body, or at least most of the poison in your body, heavy metal poison, and that poison will come out in urine. Now what you do is you keep monitoring the level of poison in urine. Once you get a permissible level, that is when you stop the treatment of chelation. ठीक है, आप एंटीडोट यूज कर सकते हैं या आप कुछ और थेरेपी यूज कर सकते हैं इन दैट सेंस, बट यू कीप ऑन कीलेटिंग द पेशेंट टिल यू फाइंड अ क्लीन सैंपल ऑफ यूरिन. ठीक है, टिल यू फाइंड नो हेवी मेटल इन यूरिन, समथिंग सिमिलर टू हीमोडायलिसिस. ठीक है, till your till your machine is telling you, okay, the blood is free of any impurities, now you can stop the hemodialysis process. The same way you will personally check the amount of uh, heavy metal present in urine. Once you have a permissible level, अलग अलग heavy metal को अलग अलग level रहता. ठीक है, once you have that permissible level, that is when you stop giving chelation altogether. So that is the principle behind chelation, and that is chelates. Okay, now in your last chapter you will have we have essentially completed your pharmacology syllabus now. Now in your last chapter there is a topic called mydriatics and meiotics. ठीक है, mydriatics and meiotics are nothing but cholinergic and anticholinergic drugs. ठीक है, उन लोगों का अलग नाम है. ठीक है, when we were discussing about mydriatics and about cholinergics and anticholinergics, I told you cholinergics can act as mydriatics, whereas anticholinergics can act as meiotics, and vice versa, whatever it is. Now it applies the same way. Whenever you have a question that is asking, write the description of mydriatics, you'll write about cholinergics or anticholinergics, whichever conforms with it. ठीक है, वो same है. You will have anesthetics, which you already discussed. So that is essentially last chapter में the only new thing was this glaucoma, and ये chelating agents last chapter में बच गया था. So I completed that one previous chapter. ठीक है, now with this we have completed your pharmacology